Hi, in this video we'll be talking about the account preferences that are available in the partnumbering.com service. You can go to the account preferences page by clicking on the account tab and then clicking the preferences tab. You can mouse over any preference to get more information about it as shown here on the left side of the page. To edit preferences, click on the Edit Info button. You'll notice that as you select each input field in the form, additional information about that preference is shown on the left side of the page. The first preference is case sensitivity. This preference is used when part numbers are generated. The partnumbering.com service ensures that duplicate part numbers are never generated, but the definition of what's a duplicate can vary between organizations. Most organizations do not care about the case of the letters in the part numbers. If a part number is created that is identical to an existing part number in every way except that the case of some letters in the part number is different, that would be considered a duplicate of the existing part number. To keep part numbers like this from being created, set this preference to No so that when a check for duplicates is performed, the case of the letters is not considered. If your organization does in fact care about the case of the letters used in the part numbers and you want to allow part numbers that contain the same character sequences with the only difference between the part numbers being the case of the letters, set this preference to Yes to allow this. API status indicates if your account has the API service active or disabled. If the API service is disabled, requests to the API using your API key will be ignored. If the API service is active, calls to the API service made using your API key will be processed. You can read more about the configuration and use of the API by reading the API Developer Guide available in the Help tab here. The remaining preferences are related to the dates and times that are shown in the partnumbering.com service. You can select your time zone. I'm going to go ahead and change this to the Mountain Time Zone since that's where I work. You can choose how dates are shown. There are plenty of date formats available. Next is the time format. With the time format, you can choose not to show times at all. If you do choose to show times, there are a variety of formats available. Lastly is an option for relative dates. If this preference is set to Yes, events that have occurred recently will have the date and time shown in a relative fashion. Instead of listing a complete date and time, it may say something like 15 minutes ago or 3 days ago. Once dates move further into the past, they are shown using the selected date and time format. If this preference is set to No, the selected date and time format will always be used when displaying dates. Once we are done with our editing, we can click the Save Preferences button and our changes are saved. You'll notice that since the API has been activated, the API key for my account is now shown. That's a quick description of the account preferences available in the partnumbering.com service. If you have any further questions, click on the feedback link and send them to us. We'll get back to you with an answer shortly. Thanks for watching.